This woman put weed in her jollof rice and the whole Lagos party went mad. You won't believe what happened. And let me tell you about Iyaibu. Iyaibu wasn't your regular chef. She had a gift. Her jollof rice could make angels sing and demons dance. People came from Lekki to Ajegunle just to test her pot of magic. But Iyaibu had a secret. A little something she added to make her jollof rice extra special. Weed. Yes, you heard right though. Igbo, ganja, kush, the good stuff. Iyaibu believed the little weed made everything better. It relaxed the mind, opened the heart and made the jollof taste like heaven on earth. She had been doing this for years and nobody suspected a thing. Her customers were always too busy dancing and enjoying themselves to notice the extra spice. One Saturday, Iyaibu got a huge catering gig, a big Lagos wedding on Victoria Island. This was her chance to make it big. She prepared the jollof rice with extra care, adding her secret ingredient with a mischievous smile. This wedding party go mad gan, she chuckled to herself. The wedding was lit, champagne flowing, music blasting, and Iyaibu's jollof rice was the star of the show. People lined up to get a plate, their eyes wide with anticipation. Iyaibu, your jollof is the best in Lagos, so one guest shouted. I put a little love inside, she replied with a wink. But as the night went on, things started to get weird. People started dancing funnier, talking louder, laughing hysterically. One uncle started removing his clothes and dancing topless on the stage. One auntie started confessing her deepest secrets to a complete stranger. The bride and groom started making out in the middle of the dance floor like teenagers. Even the pastor started doing the shaku shaku dance. Iyaibu watched in amusement as the party descended into controlled chaos. My jollof is working its magic, she thought proudly. But then things took a turn for the worst. The best man, who had eaten 3 plates of jollof, climbed on top of the DJ booth and started preaching about the end of the world. The bridesmaids started fighting over who had the best wig. The groom mother started accusing the bride's family of being witches, and then police arrived. Someone had called them to complain about the strange behavior at the wedding. Iyaibu knew she was in trouble. She tried to sneak away, but it was too late. The police spotted her and marched towards her with stern faces. Madam, we need to talk about your jollof rice. The police took Iyaibu to the station. The whole wedding party was in uproar. The bride, Kemi, was crying. The groom, Dapo, was shouting. The wedding was officially ruined. But as the chaos settled, a chilling whisper started to spread through the stunned guests. Amid the confessions and the wild dancing, some truths had been spoken that night. Truths about hidden debts, secret affairs, and betrayals that now threatened to unravel not just one marriage but the entire fabric of their respectable community. Iyaibu sat in her cell, the smell of pepper soup and regret filling the air. She had only wanted to make jollof rice, but what had she really cooked up? Iyaibu's jollof landed her in jail, but it also exposed a secret that shocked all of Lagos. Iyaibu was arrested after her weed-laced jollof rice turned the wedding into chaos, but the real drama was just beginning as hidden truths started to surface. Iyaibu was interrogated by Officer Tunde, a no-nonsense policeman who looks like he hadn't smiled since 1999. Madam, you think this is a joke? Officer Tunde slammed his hand on the table. You served illegal substances at a public event. The bride family wants to press charges for assault, emotional distress, and, well, for ruining their daughter's wedding. Iyaibu shrank in her seat. Oga, I swear I didn't mean any harm. Just little spice to make the jollof sing. Sing, Abi? Officer Tunde scoffed. Your jollof made Chief Oga confess he's been embezzling community funds. It made Mama Nkechi admit she swapped her son's JAMB results. And it made the groom Dapo confess to the bride, Kemi, that he already has a wife and 3 children in Cotonou. Iyaibu's jaw dropped. Chineke, all that from my jollof? Suddenly, the cell door opened. It wasn't Officer Tunde. It was Kemi, the bride, her eyes red but oddly determined. Iyaibu, Kemi said, her voice trembling. I'm not here to press charges. Iyaibu looked up confused. Then why are you here, my daughter? Your jollof, it saved me, Kemi whispered. tears welling up again. Dapo confessed everything. He was going to marry me for my family's money and disappear. Your jollof, it forced the truth out. Yaibu felt a strange mix of guilt and a flicker of pride. Her jollof, in its chaotic way, had done something good. But now what? Kemi asked, looking lost. My wedding is ruined, my reputation is in tatters, and everyone thinks I'm a fool. Iyaibu looked at the young woman. She saw her own past mistakes, her own desire to make things right. My daughter, Iyaibu said, a new resolve in her voice. Sometimes the truth is messy, but it sets you free. And a good cook always knows how to turn bitter ingredients into a sweet dish. But then, the story of Dapo's confession spread like wildfire. The community was in uproar. Some praised Iyaibo's jollof for exposing the truth, while others condemned her for the chaos. The elders, now fearful of what other secrets might be revealed, pressured the police to make an example of Iyaibo. Officer Tunde, despite his initial skepticism, started to see the deeper impact of Iyaibo's action. He was torn between upholding the law and acknowledging the truth that had been unleashed. Kemi, refusing to be a victim, decided to take matters into her own hands. She realized that the problem wasn't just Iyaibo's jollof, but the culture of secrecy and corruption that allowed lies and betrayals to fester. She decided to use her family's resources to create a foundation for truth and transparency in the community. She would start by exposing the corrupt practices of Chief Oga and other powerful figures. Iyaibo was facing serious charges, and the elders were determined to see her punished. But Kemi, filled with newfound sense of purpose, was preparing to wage war against the corrupt establishment. As Iyaibo sat in her cell, she received a message from Kemi. Tomorrow we fight for the truth. Be ready. Iyaibo didn't know what Kemi had planned, but she trusted her. She knew that something big was about to happen. Iyaibo's jollof sparked a revolution of truth, and now Kemi is ready to expose the corrupt leaders who have been exploiting their community for years. The next day, Kemi organized a massive town hall meeting. She invited everyone, the elders, the police, the media, and the ordinary citizens who had been affected by the corruption. Chief Oga, confident in his power, arrived with his entourage, expecting to intimidate Kemi into silence. But Kemi was ready. She presented evidence, documents, recordings, and testimonies that exposed Chief Oga's embezzlement, land grabbing, and bribery schemes. The crowd gasped in shock and anger. Chief Oga tried to deny the allegation, but the evidence was overwhelming. His carefully constructed facade crumbled before his eyes. Officer Tunde, witnessing the outpouring of anger and the undeniable proof, had no choice but to arrest Chief Oga and his accomplices. The arrest sent shockwaves through the community. People who had been living in fear for years finally felt empowered to speak out. More and more stories of corruption and abuse surfaced, leading to the downfall of other powerful figures. Kemi's foundation became a symbol of hope and justice. She used her resources to support victims of corruption, promote transparency in government, and empower young people to become leaders. As for Iyaibo, she was released from jail. Her charges dropped. She became a local hero, Iyaibo the truth teller. She didn't go back to cooking with weed, but she continued to experiment with flavors and spices, creating dishes that brought people together and sparked meaningful conversations. She taught young chefs to cook with honesty, integrity, and a deep respect for community. 6 months later, Kemi and Iyaibo stood side by side at the opening of a new community center built on land that had been illegally seized by Chief Oga. The center offered education, healthcare, and legal services to those in need. We have a long way to go, Kemi said, but we have taken the first step, building a more just and equitable society. Iyaibo smiled. Sometimes, she said, all it takes is a little spice to wake up people. Years later, Iyaibo's legacy lived on. Her name was synonymous to truth, justice, and the power of food to transform lives. And though her weed-laced jollof has caused chaos, it had also paved the way for a brighter future where honesty and transparency reigned supreme. The end.